Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey guys, Juan here, and I want to show you a throwing drill that you can do with your athletes that are going to help front hip stabilization, back side drive, and accuracy all in one. Strength, power, balance, versatility within the athlete's movements, all of that stuff. And you're seeing that drill right now. And I'll break it down real quick for you from step to step to help you and your athletes get better and become better, more athletic throwers that will translate better on the field, on the mound, behind the plate, all of that stuff. So let's get into the drill here. If you see the setup, so let's get into the setup first. So we have a right-handed thrower. The setup within this drill is that you want your stride leg, so your lead leg on your throws, to be behind you in a deep lunge. You see one of our throwers here performing the drill. So you see he's a right-handed thrower, so his left leg is now behind him. So if you were a left-handed thrower, so for instance if I were to do it, my right leg would be behind me in my setup. And the motive and the goal here is to explode out of your deep lunge vertically and land into that stride leg. Now, what this is going to mimic and what this is going to exaggerate is the force production of the back foot going into front foot during your linear drive post rotation, and the front foot hitting the ground during a regular throw. And you really have to train your front hip in particular, and hip flexors and abductors, to be strong enough to perform this movement and sustain the force produced from the back side. Typically when guys collapse the front side, there's a couple different things that can be going on. Typically it's very poor hip to shoulder separation. Sometimes it's a stability issue, and if that is the issue, this would definitely help them understand how much force they need to stop and halt with their front hip in order to produce that energy effectively and apply that force onto the baseball. So you see that little hop vertically into the stride leg, and then he's going to stabilize that front leg. Now this is an 8th grader doing this drill right here. He told me he's about 100 pounds, so he's definitely on the smaller side, but he's still able to find and stabilize that front leg about right there. And the goal is to stabilize. So this isn't meant to be a cardio move or a high dynamic move. You're supposed to land into that front leg and stabilize that front leg to the best of your capability before you go into the second movement of the exercise. So when you land, a lot of times we want to do it with our chest over, parallel to the ground as best as we can, because that's typically how we're going to finish our throw as well. And that back leg is floating off of the ground, so all of our weight is in our front leg right now. As we go through the motion, we hop into our drive leg. Now, ideally, we want to hop into our drive leg a little bit higher, kind of explode upward out of that position in a more vertical fashion. But he gets into his drive leg. So we get into our drive leg either way, and we get into handbrake. When we get to this point, especially as we travel forward, we want to stick that back foot into the ground and sustain my heel during my linear move. So my heel should be in the ground as long as possible during my linear move. So the back heel really pops up once the front foot starts rotating forward. You see here this athlete does a pretty decent job of getting his entire back foot into the ground and sustaining that position through the linear move of his throw into front foot. And then we're going to explode through our throw, follow through properly. Now, an advanced way to do this drill is that once they get into their front leg and they're about to hop into their drive leg, as you see, we have squares set up on that black mat. Top right, bottom left, top left, and middle is, what I call out. You can put numbers in there or colors. I've seen that as well. But right now we just have squares and a black mat. when they're in the process of hopping into their drive leg, the coach or a partner will yell out a square. So let's say, for instance, I think he ends up being around the top left here. So when he gets into his back leg, this motion right here, when he's about to hop into his back foot, you would then yell out top left. The athlete would then turn, try to pick up top left, and try to hit it as well. And that's really going to enhance the senses during this drill, to have the eyes and the central nervous system really fire and try to hit a target during the drill itself. So I'll run the drill one more time so you can see it in fast motion. Hope you end up liking this. Do it with your athletes. I think it's a very good creative drill. It is an advanced movement. I did ask him if he wanted to try it. I usually don't do it with 8th graders if I don't think that they're strong enough to perform the move accurately, but he actually did it pretty well considering he's in the 8th grade. So this movement I typically do with sophomores or bigger, or older, or if the athlete is larger, if he's already big and strong for his age. Sometimes you do see that in the 8th grade and freshman level. There are modifications to this drill that I might make a video for as well, for younger athletes that you can do. But really the goal is to play around, be an athletic mover, be an athletic thrower, understand your body in space, and throw cheese accurately and safely. Hope you like it. Try it out. See you guys later.